Last day transfer from Liverpool. Liverpool have reportedly nailed the midfield shortlist as coach Jürgen Klopp looks to reinvigorate his options in the coming months. Chelsea star Conor Gallagher is allegedly among them. While the chance of a move on the deadline is remote, decisive action can be taken in the summer. The Reds acted fast this month, bringing in Cody Gakpo to provide offensive reinforcements with a £37 million move. It also created an extra element of satisfaction for the fans as they stole the Dutchman from Manchester United, which showed serious interest. But things have been quiet at Anfield for the past few weeks. But Klopp continues to seek a short-term solution, although he plans to wait until the summer to begin his much-anticipated midfield refresh. According to the Daily Mail, Liverpool is looking into the Chelsea star's situation to provide an injection into the midfield. Gallagher is allegedly considered, and the 22-year-old could accept an offer that includes regular ace-team football with hard-to-come minutes at Stamford Bridge. The Blues Academy product could slide further down the pecking order under manager Graham Potter in the coming months. Because Chelsea had their eyes on Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo both on the deadline day. Gallagher was recently the subject of a £45 million bid from Everton. But it is thought that he was not willing to relocate to Goodison Park. The all-action actor was impressed last season on loan at Crystal Palace, where he was one of the first names on the team page under Patrick Vieira. His achievements also earned him international recognition. He collected 4 England hats that are more likely to come in what is shaping up to be a promising career. Gallagher isn't the exciting signature fans were hoping for. After all, he will be a Chelsea kicker. It's worth remembering, however, that Chelsea's exclusions typically continue to perform well. While Liverpool had one on the right flank, Daniel Sturridge was a sensational pickup from Stamford Bridge. Manchester City are also very happy with Kevin De Bruyne. So it wouldn't be the first time Chelsea have signed a group of players pushing their current options, only for those options to shine through at a new club. Gallagher could be a perfect fit for Liverpool's squad as a high-energy midfielder who can do something in and around the box. He made his debut in the England squad this season, with Chelsea manager Graham Potter calling him fantastic. Gallagher is a good player to help rejuvenate the Reds' midfield. Would it be perfect and solve all your problems? Of course not. But Gallagher will add qualities that Liverpool are screaming for. Add that he's still only 22 years old and that Jürgen Klopp can do wonders with him. It could be a smart signature for the rest of the season. Also, the Reds have 3 more candidates for the summer months. Borussia Dortmund sensational player Jude Bellingham is also on the hit list. While Jürgen Klopp and Liverpool captain Jordan Henderson openly spoke about their admiration for the young player, club legend Steven Gerrard even offered to take him out to dinner and discuss a potential move. However, the competition for the British ace's signature will be fierce. But both Manchester City and Real Madrid are believed to be hot on their heels. Another candidate is Matheus Nunes. A bid for Wolves star Matheus Nunes may also be on the cards after Sporting came close to signing him last year from Lisbon. The Portuguese has yet to get into top gear since moving to the Premier League. But Klopp is believed to be a serious fan, and a bid of around £50 million might be enough to force the Wolves' hand. The last option Liverpool are exploring is Moises Caicedo. The Brighton ace is still relatively new at the top, but his performances have earned him fans at many top clubs. But if Arsenal or Chelsea manage to capture the £75 million star on the deadline, the Reds may be too late to the party. Liverpool boss Jürgen Klopp is in big trouble with 2 players after the FA Cup loss to Brighton. A weekend in 2023 is another disappointing result for Liverpool. The Reds' FA Cup defence ended with Brighton's wise pause-time Kaoru Mitoma goal. Jürgen Klopp, whose second-half substitutions coincided with a significant drop in his performance, has a growing problem with 2 players after the loss on the South Bank. At the 59th minute, James Milner, Darwin Nunez and Jordan Henderson replaced the trio of Trent Alexander-Arnold, Harvey Elliott and Naby Keita. The promotions had the opposite effect of what Klopp intended. Liverpool lost intensity and control. He looked much more open and vulnerable. Elliott and Keita's legs were sorely missed. Still, the worst individual cameo undoubtedly came from Fabinho, who replaced Stefan Bajcetic with 6 minutes of regular time. The Brazilian midfielder was booked and should have been sent to stud Evan Ferguson's Achilles just 2 minutes later. The Brighton striker had to step down and Fabinho was incredibly lucky. But even after VAR reviewed the event, it got yellow. The drop in Liverpool's overall midfield performance level on the pitch as seasoned veterans Henderson and Fabinho should serve as an alarm bell for Klopp. Instead of putting out the fires, the seasoned duo starts them. Captain Henderson no longer provides the energy he was used to. And while he often makes reckless turnovers, Fabinho is definitely late for everything, as evidenced by his fight against Ferguson. The Brazilian is nowhere near number 6, where he was at the top under Klopp. They are in such terrible shape that young Bajcetic, Thiago Alcantara, and Keita are all preferred over them. Thiago is asked to work as a box-to-box midfielder rather than a deeper pace-setter. This means that Liverpool have not been able to make the most of the Spanish midfielder. But even more alarming, Henderson and Fabinho aren't even proving useful as backups at the moment. Liverpool need a midfield overhaul this summer. But Henderson and Fabinho, who have contracts until 2025 and 2026 respectively, are most likely going nowhere. Still, the steep nature of their decline suggests that these are not just short-term collapses and that little will change in future campaigns. Klopp said about Fabinho in November, "In a long career, there are drop-offs in the performance of the players. That's totally normal. Usually you would sort this out by not playing often, but because of our situation Fabinho had to play everything. You get over it and at some point you come back to yourself, that's it," he said. His failure to improve himself since then shows otherwise. In fact, his poor form has been a problem for almost 12 months and there is no sign yet that Fabinho will reinvent his old levels. Liverpool's request for Aurelien Tchouameni last summer could be a clue that the Merseyside club knew the team needed extra support after several grueling seasons as the team's sole midfield anchor. Liverpool's first move to Brighton this year resulted in a league loss 3-0. Fabinho and Henderson had proven that they weren't up for it, at least this season, as a starting point against young fresh teams. Their second trip makes it questionable whether they'll even be on the bench for the remainder of the campaign. More cameos like this and their long-term futures will quickly be at risk regardless of their contribution so far. Liverpool's biggest lack of form this season has come from injured midfielders and out of shape in their current midfield. Especially the players who showed great performance in the past years showed almost infamous performances this season. That's why a major overhaul is essential next summer,